What's up, people? Coming back at you, the Spider Lance for the sports fans, Minister Lewis for people who know me, and I preach the word. But I want to come back at my brother Lorenz. He put up a good response to when I came to set y'all free of being prisoners of the moment. And I get everything that he is saying, and he's talking about. Oh, check out my shirt first. I had like the coolest shirt in the world. My wife got it for me for my birthday. Detroit, that's the downtown Detroit. I still love my city. Detroit right there. Call me Detroit, man, if you want to. But anyway, man, I talk about this. Look, I still say people are prisoners of the moment because when we talk legacy, it's almost like in my job when we rate somebody, we're supposed to rate the whole period, not just what have you done for us lately. A lot of times somebody can do something bad a month within time to rate them, then you mark them down, even though they were great the whole year. Or somebody do something great and that's the last impression. So I still feel that way about LeBron. Look, man, let me put it like this. Jalen Rose on the best podcast there is, man. Jalen and Jacoby, they popped the trunk. And Jalen Rose, he really loves what he does, and he really knows the game, man. He didn't do this to put LeBron down. But he brought up something very important I want everybody to understand. He brought up when we look at competition, how many 50 game or more win teams has this person beat in his career? So when we talk about LeBron coming to get Jordan, look, it's disrespectful to say that when there's other players that he has to get past. Magic Johnson, even though people put Jordan above him, you can make a case to say Magic Johnson is better than Jordan. Jordan beat Magic, but he beat Magic with one of his weakest teams. If Magic played against Jordan with Kareem and Worthy and Byron Scott, even the 72 win team, I'm not so sure Magic wouldn't have got those boys to win. So what I'm seeing from LeBron, he reminded me finally of Magic Johnson. So when we talk about coming to get Jordan, though, right? Look, man, you got to stop disrespecting all these other players who have done great things. You can say Jordan is the number one person and all that. I understand that, but you got to give homage to the other people that are right there before we put them over. So my thing is, okay, LeBron James has only beat 7 50-plus win teams in his career in the playoff series. So what that means, let me break this down. What that basically is telling us is that in the playoffs, he plays against sorry competition. Kobe Bryant has beat 24 50-win teams. One thing Jalen Rose said, and he said it's not his fault. He played in the East, all this stuff. But in a way, it is his fault. This is why he can never catch Michael Jordan. This is why. He decided to go play with his biggest competition. In the East, the player that was his biggest competition was Dwayne Wade. Next on there was the up-and-comer was Chris Bosh. Them cats came together. Now, when you have a chance of going against other 50-win teams in the playoffs, you get rid of all that. So when the Miami Heat brought themselves together, they're going to most likely face one 50-win team. So his stats, as great as they are, he's been to the finals 5 straight times. But that's like, to me, giving props to the Buffalo Bills because they went 4 straight times. They went 4 straight times, but when they got in the finals, most of the time, they were playing a team everybody knows going to beat them. So that's good. That's great. That's awesome. But we got to pay homage to these people who have played better competition and have had better results. He cannot catch Jordan. Jordan would never have done what LeBron did. And so that's my thing is that he went and played with his biggest competition. So when you discuss legacy, discuss how good somebody is, you got to bring all that into the discussion. I said it when he did it because I like the way he plays. But I wanna get to another issue though. A lot of people think he's an unselfish player. That's not true. He is selfish in different type of ways. I like the way he plays. But when he gave up the chance to be that person to bring a team that's not that good and lift him up over his shoulders and get him over the hump, when he gave that up, he gave up the right to ever be called greater than Kobe or Mike. I said it. My brothers were there. When I said it, when we watched it, we sat there and watched the decision. I was so disappointed in him. When he did that, I'm never going to forget it because I'm not a prisoner of the moment. What we seeing now, though, I would give him props. I'm finally seeing him shape the team in his own image, and they might win a title. Miami Heat weren't shaped in his image. Miami Heat was a team put together to win titles because they were too top heavy. Matter of fact, because LeBron James is not as unselfish as you think, he could not take the second banana roll to D-Wade, so he sabotaged the series against the Dallas Mavericks. See, what we missing here is this. Back in the day, the Los Angeles Lakers was one of the best teams ever. The Showtime Lakers, one year it was Kareem being the most dominant on the team. Another year it was Worthy being the most dominant team. Another year was Magic. Another year, Byron Scott, in a way, was dominating more than anybody on the team. They were able, because they were truly unselfish players, they were able to let the other person shine in order to win the titles. Miami Heat should have come away with 4 titles, not 2. The only reason why they didn't come away with 4 because LeBron wasn't willing to do that. He wasn't willing to let Wade be the one to shine. If he let Wade be the one to shine in the first one and still played a great game, it wasn't all pouty in his spirit and in his soul, then they would have won that series. They would have won. And then it could be a year you let Chris Bosh be the man. The dude can play. The boy can play. You just got to give him his opportunity to do it. But LeBron has to be the man. So now, but I'm finally seeing what they're going to do. So, to what the Rams was saying, though, he's only 30 he's 30 years old. I think Bird, by the time he was 30, had the same amount of titles, same amount of MVPs, or close to. You have to, before you look over all these people, you can't. It's disrespectful to do that because you're sweeping under the rug what they've done. Sweep under the rug what Kobe's done. See, every stat that you bring up that Kobe outshines LeBron on, everybody would just want to sweep that under the rug. There's a reason why we talk about all these streaks now. 20-point streaks, 20.5-5 streaks, 30.1-1 streaks, crazy LeBron stats. You know why? Because the NBA wants LeBron to be the next Jordan. So, because there's a underlying psychosis of people don't like Kobe because it's too much like Jordan. So when Kobe went on these streaks where he surpassed Jordan, so now we gotta get all that out. So every little streak that somebody goes on, we're gonna pump that up and pump that up and pump that up so we can forget about how great this man was. That outshine and outperform Michael Jordan in some areas. So the person who was coming from Michael Jordan was Kobe Bryant. And the person who has outperformed Michael Jordan in some areas is Kobe Bryant. Let's make this clear. One thing I really disagree with what my brother said. LeBron James is not a mix of of Jordan and Magic Johnson. He plays absolutely nothing like Michael Jordan. Nothing. He more so a mix of Dominique Wilkins and Magic Johnson. And putting that mix together, Dominique ain't never win a title. Putting that mix together can explain why he don't win all the time. He don't win the titles all the time. He does not have that same competitive edge that Jordan has. He does not always know when to be the dog, the alpha dog. He is more like Magic Johnson, which is a great thing. We don't play like Jordan, so let's stop that. The comparison of LeBron and Michael Jordan is totally an imaginary thing. They play nothing like each other, don't play the same position, don't play the same way, don't even look the same way when they shoot the ball. The person that plays the same way as Michael Jordan at times is Kobe Bean Bryant. Kobe got 5 titles. Jordan got 6. Now, Kobe might not be done. If Kobe learned to do what Clyde Drexler did, if Kobe learned to do what Ray Allen did, if Kobe learned to do something like that, he can get some more titles. We got some up and young. We got a number 2 pick coming up. We might get a great player. We got a free agency coming up. We might get Jimmy Butler, somebody like that. And we don't know how that dude Julius Randle might get good. The Lakers got a ability to turn it around and just like that. So he might not be done. So the point is, I understand saying a little bit some comparisons of he coming for Jordan. But let's stop saying that before we recognize that he first got to pass these people up. Nothing wrong with that. He got to pass up Bird. Statistically wise, he's not really better than Bird. They're about the same. And Bird has one more title. And Bird played, I think, against better competition. He had to play some wars. I guess that might be debatable because the Spurs that LeBron has played has been pretty good. They should have beat the Heat twice. But anyway, and this is my thing, and everybody know I'm a LeBron hater. I'm gonna tell you one reason why that I'm never gonna forget. Like I said, when he decided to play with Wade and Bosh, his competition in the East, he forfeited his right to be put in that conversation. Greats have struggles at times and they stick with it. Now, Kobe wanted to leave the Lakers, but it had nothing to do with the players. It had to do with the GM saying that he wanted Shaq gone and he did that. That was the main reason he wanted to leave. He felt betrayed. That's what that was about. Well, but then again, LeBron probably the same way with his boy Delonte West. I'm pretty sure something like that really happened. I was watching the game when they played against the Celtics because I am I think I guess I got some bias, but I call it like I see it. I could tell something was wrong with him on the inside when he was playing, and they got beat by Boston, so he did feel betrayed too. So maybe that was part of it. But he promised those cats a championship. Then he went to Miami, not 2, not 3, not 4. And then the first time they go into the finals because he don't want to be the one to be outshined, he sabotaged the series. Look, man, that's not how great players play. You don't get to be put in the same breath as Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. And let me say this. And my brother, he said, no way, Isaiah. A lot of people agree with him. Let me say this. For his position, Isaiah Thomas is no doubt the number 3 point guard ever played a game. Maybe, actually, he's number 2 in my book. People put Oscar Robertson first. But Oscar Robertson played in the era where the competition was straight weak. The greatest statistical player season ever was by Wilt Chamberlain. The same year, Oscar Robertson averaged a grown man triple-double. Wilt Chamberlain had like 50 points and 25 rebounds a game. Man, come on, man. That stuff ain't going to happen today. They weren't as good. But this is one thing. One of the best statistical seasons ever was done by Isaiah Thomas. 21.1 points. Now, this is a point guard, 6'1" person. 13.9 assists. That's almost 14 assists a game. To me, 14 assists is almost impossible to do a game. But he did it for a whole season. For about 4 years, he had great stats. Now, this is the thing. They had a deep team, the Pistons. But there's a difference between acquiring a deep team and creating a deep team. Most of those players that the Detroit Pistons had were not bona fide superstars. Nobody knew they were going to be that great of players. Only Isaiah. So Lambeer comes to the Pistons. He gets much better. They draft John Solly, Dennis Rodman. These players, they were anywhere else, would have had average careers. John Solly probably would have had a below average career. Joe Dumars wasn't guaranteed to be great. But no doubt playing alongside Isaiah Thomas helped him. He's a great leader. He got the best out of his team. So he created a deep team. So there's a difference when you create a deep team and that team gets up there. And he had great competition to go against. So LeBron is greater than Isaiah because he's been in the titles more. I don't necessarily think he's that much of a better player because I watched Isaiah. I watched him play. I know Isaiah could do more than he wanted to do at times. He could score at will if he wanted to. He didn't have those moments where he girled out. LeBron girled out a couple times. The difference between messing up and girling out. Isaiah didn't do that. So the only difference between, and that's why people didn't like Isaiah really, because it was a Magic and Bird show. And it was this little guy who really was just as good at them. And the whispers in their ears was, if he had just as much talent as you guys, he probably would be just as good, if not better. And so that's why people really resented Isaiah, because he messed that whole dynamic. And then he proved it once he really got some talent up. He won titles. That's the difference. You put Isaiah on that Lakers team too, they win 5 titles. You put Isaiah on the Boston team, they win 4 titles. I'm just going to say that. That's me. I just look, that's the eye test. Nobody can really argue with that point. They know that's the truth. You put him on any of those teams, they win the same amount of titles. So that's all I'm saying. I put LeBron over him, but slightly. Ain't no way more. LeBron gets all these MVPs. He deserved those MVPs, but also he played in a weak Eastern Conference. Weak, just straight up weak. He won 66 games with a team that, if it was in the West, might win 53. 66 games they can't get to the finals. Come on, man. And Lorenz is right, though. He did have a great playoff. The dude is a great player. But stop disrespecting all these other players that are on that list. Stop disrespecting Kobe. Don't want to give him no credit. Kobe Bryant has played better competition than LeBron James year in and year out, and he's performed great. And somebody put up another stat, since he's been a starter as a Laker, he's averaged 28, 5.5, and 5.5 as a starter as a Laker. So some of those stats, you got to take a look. Those stats is because they didn't want to bring him along too fast. They didn't want to put him starting lineup too fast. He was a 6th man for at least 1 or 2 years. So stop putting him down. People don't like Kobe. They're just going to go ahead and give all props to LeBron. We roll out the red carpet. He's in there. Somebody. Let's sweep everybody else under the rug. Let's sweep Bird under the rug. Let's sweep Kobe under the rug. Let's sweep Hakeem under the rug. Let's sweep all these people. Hakeem Olajuwon went to the title three times, won 2 out of 3. But Hakeem Olajuwon had to go up against the Showtime Lakers, Portland Trailblazers, Utah Jazz with Stockton and Malone. Who else come out the West? Seattle Superstar with Gary Payton, Sean Kemp. Them teams was bad. Sacramento Kings, the Spurs with David Robinson, and then they had Dennis Rodman. And before they just had David Robinson, but they still had 60 win teams. That's what they had to deal with. So he ain't coming for Mike. He ain't gonna reach Mike. He might reach Bird. He might reach Magic. He might reach Kobe. He ain't reaching Mike. Mike went 6 out of 7 years. He went to the finals. And he won all 6 that he went to. And he played on such a high level. So LeBron ain't coming from, he got a lot of time. He got all this. He got all that. But like I said, you don't take what's happening just now. You take the whole thing. The dude went to Miami because he couldn't win a title at Cleveland. He admitted to himself he couldn't get over the hump. When everybody was hoping to get over the hump, he's winning 60-something games in a year. He blamed his teammates and went and got his competition to help him out. Dude, please. Jordan would never do nothing like that. Kobe would never do nothing like that. Go get his competition to help him out because he can't win a title. He's not going to do that. Karl Malone, Gary Payton, it was at the end of their career when they came. They weren't the competition anymore. It was obvious Malone and Payton ain't going to get nothing ever again. So they might as well join up with the Lakers. They almost won that year. But anyway. So Lorenz had a good response. But you gotta take in it all. The whole thing. Don't be a prisoner in the moment. The dude ain't coming for Jordan. He might not even win this year. If he do win, I think we're going to see him on the line a lot. He's not shooting well right now. I don't see him shooting better. We're going to see him on the line a lot because that's a great story. That he coming back to Cleveland, get him a title. It might be too much for the NBA to pass up on. So I kind of feel sorry for Golden State, what they might see. But this dude, Steph Curry, on that level right now. Nobody in the history of the NBA can shoot as good as this guy. On the side of the 3-point line, I think on the left side, that corner, he has basically turned that into a free throw shot for him. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a good series, but LeBron might go 2 out of 6, and then I want to know what people are gonna say then. Dr. J, he won 1. No, he won 1. But Dr. J went to like a lot of finals and only won 1 in the NBA. So why not compare him to Dr. J? Dr. J stats in the ABA was ridiculous. Dr. J and he went against great competition, man. But anyway, the competition right now is good though too though. Those Spurs, the West is ridiculous competition wise. But the top East teams are usually good enough to hang with the West. So it should be a good finals. LeBron is good, but he ain't coming for Jordan. He might surpass Bird. All right, peace.